Have you studied English for months or even years, but when you have the opportunity to talk with someone, you basically freeze? Well, that happens to a lot of people, and in this video, I want to explain why this happens to you. Hello friends, welcome to Christian Productivity channel. I am Luciana Sampaio. I understand that the problem isn't just the lack of vocabulary or grammar, because usually we have a lot of words in our mind. We know all the rules to speak in English, so this is not the problem. The problem is the constant mental translation. When you need to form sentences in Portuguese and then translate it to English in your mind to answer someone's question, this is a problem. Let me give you a few examples. Usually, the mental translation creates awkward pauses. For instance, if someone came to you and ask, "Where did you go yesterday?" And then you need to stop and think. Eu fui à escola. I went to the school. When you need to stop and think every single word in Portuguese, as I said, to put these words in English, this is a problem because the person that asked the question for you is waiting. And these pauses are so uncomfortable. They are not okay. And that's basically why you can't keep a conversation. The second example is that makes you sound less natural. Então, se alguém te perguntar, "How old are you?", você pode pensar em inglês. Desculpa, vou sair um pouquinho aqui do inglês rapidinho, mas já volto pra ele. Calma. Você pode pensar o seguinte: eu estou com 20 anos. E daí você vai levar isso para o inglês. I am with 20 years. To answer this in a natural way, you need to say, I am 20 years old. You can say, I am with 20 years. This doesn't make any sense in English. Translating word by word creates weird sentences and takes away your natural flow. Other than that, when you need to switch for Portuguese to English, and translate, and oh, this is really crazy for your mind because it drains your energy. The fact that your speaking is so hard is because you are anxious every single time that you need to speak. That's why for you, it feels so hard. And I want to help you with this thing in this video today. Studies in psycholinguistics. How can I say this? Psycholinguistics. Studies in psycholinguistics shows that actively translating between two languages put heavily demand on your working memory, the part of your brain responsible for processing information quickly. That explains why your mind sometimes goes blank or just freeze when trying to speak. I guess that you already imagined that the key to unlock your speaking is to develop your thinking in English. But what does that really mean? You may think that thinking in English means that you're gonna translate really fast, but this is not what I mean. It means really thinking in English. And to many people, this is basically impossible because we are Brazilians, or maybe you are from a country in Africa, because there's a lot of followers in my channel that are from Africa. We are used to thinking in Portuguese. How on earth we're gonna think in English? Seems impossible, right? And that's what I thought. When you are really immersed in this language, you understand that this is possible. I am talking with you guys in this video in English, and I am not translating every single word. I'm not thinking like, okay, I need to say the sentence and I need to translate it. No, I'm saying every single thing because I am thinking in English right now to speak with you guys in English. That's how I can keep a conversation and I can keep my speaking so natural. So the first step to be able to speak and to be able to think in English is that you need to start seeing images, you need to start seeing things and thinking in English. I said this a few videos back that when you see something, you need to start thinking in English. How can I say this in English? How can I say the window that is in front of me? How can I say this in English? How can I say escorredor inglês. Como que eu falo que na cozinha tem um fogão, tem armários, tem uma lava-louça? Como que eu falo tudo isso, gente? E a gente precisa começar a pensar dessa forma. Então, sempre que eu ver uma imagem, sempre que eu ver as coisas acontecendo no meu dia a dia, eu preciso pensar tudo isso em inglês, porque isso já vai ser um exercício que vai me ajudar demais. Of course that our brain is gonna start thinking Portuguese, so if I see this image, my brain is gonna think, this is a pássaro. Every single time in my entire life, I saw this image and I thought, okay, this is a pássaro. But when you are trying to speak English, when you are trying to learn this language, you need to see this image and you think, this is a bird. You need to keep this in your mind. And it's not something easy, because thinking Portuguese is something automatic to you. Automatic. Oh, this is so hard. Automatic. But when you try to develop your thinking in English, this is gonna speeds up your thinking, gives your speech a more natural rhythm, and helps you form sentences that sounds more authentic, like a native speaker. When the brain is exposed to a second language without relying on the first, it activates areas similar to those of native speakers. In other words, thinking English literally makes your brain work like a bilingual brain. Changing the way you think takes a lot of practice, so I'm gonna give you right now a few steps to do this, alright? The first one is to start small. When you wake up, try to describe in your head how you're feeling and the things that are surrounding you in English. If you wake up and go straight to the bathroom to brush your teeth, you can think, I am brushing my teeth. After I brush my teeth, I'm gonna make coffee and drink. Or, oh, I don't drink coffee, so I'm gonna make a tea or something. And of course, then I'm gonna eat that chocolate cake that is so good that I made yesterday, you know? You can think all of those things. You can think all of your routine in English, and this is gonna help you, because usually we think those things in Portuguese, but if we start doing this in English, this is gonna be good. I remember that when I was trying to learn English, that's basically what I did. Every single time that I was thinking, I was trying to put my words in English, you know? I remember that I used to pray a lot in English, so I was always talking, okay, Father, my day was like this. Oh, I like to meet with that person, it was so good, but at the same time, oh, this was so bad in my day, Father. You know, can you understand this? So you can change the way that you think. You need to start thinking English, because I know that in the beginner, this helped me a lot, and I know that it's gonna help you too. And the thing is that whenever I couldn't remember the word, because of course that somehow you're not gonna be able to speak something. So maybe if, again, you're gonna go to the bathroom and you're going to take a shower and you don't remember how to say, eu vou tomar banho. Se você não consegue se lembrar isso, você precisa pesquisar immediately, because this is really important. I know that when I was learning and I couldn't say the word, basically I look it up in the translator, I search it, and that's how I learned a lot of vocabulary. So this is a great tip. You need to search, you need to look it up when you don't remember how to say something in English, and then of course that you're gonna come back to your practice. You're gonna keep practicing and you're gonna keep trying to think in English, because this is gonna help you a lot. This habit turns English into a natural part of your daily routine, so it's really important. The second thing that you need to do is to label everything around you. So as I said a little bit before, you need to see everything around you and you need to name it. You need to do this mentally in English. So you see a chair, you see a desk, you see a notebook, you see a TV, you see whatever, you know, you need to name it mentally in English. And if you don't know how to say it, look it up. Look it up, Google it, because you need to know how to say that word in English. This way, vocabulary stops being a memorized list and becomes connected to your real life. It is so important to do this. Please do it. Third thing that you can do is engage activity with English content. I don't think it's very good for you to just watch things in English and don't really engage with them. When you notice that there's a lot of words that are new to you or that the pronunciation is different for you, please stop the video, stop the series and try to speak. Let's say that you finish watching a movie and you love the movie. It's an amazing movie. movie. It's your favorite movie, actually. And then you can start commenting on the movie. You know, you can do this because this is going to help you to develop your skills to start speaking. This kind of active participation trains your brain to process English without translation. Once you're comfortable with these habits, that is basically thinking English and seeing things around you, and okay, this is something that usually I think in Portuguese, but now I'm gonna start thinking in English. When you're done doing this, and this is really a habit in your life, take it to the next level. You can use internal monologues and self-debates. As I said before, you can choose a book or you can choose an article to read in English, and then you're gonna have debates about it. You're gonna discuss mentally what you think about that subject, and this is gonna be really good. And of course that you can use English journaling, so you can write down everything that you're learning. I really indicate that you don't use translation. I think it's important for you to try to remember by yourself, because this helps a lot to master sentence structures. These techniques work because they force your brain to process information directly in English until it becomes automatic. I say that thinking in English and being able to speak like I am able to speak today, it's something that is a daily mental workout. Honestly, it's not something easy, but when you try to practice every single day and when you tell your brain, okay, now it's time to think in English, let's put Portuguese aside a little bit and let's start thinking and talking in English, your brain eventually is gonna understand. It's not that hard when you get used to it, you know? The more you integrate English into your routine, the more natural it will be to speak without freezing. That was the video. Thank you so much for watching. I see you in the next one, and remember, you are loved. Bye!